You have the NUU A10L. It looks like this. It says new on the back, 2 panels here for the camera and the flash. And you want to remove the back cover so you can change the battery, change the SIM chip, or add an SD card. So let's learn. So most phones have a little notch on the bottom right corner. You should be able to see that that's just a little bit different plastic there. So what most people are able to do is put their thumbnail right there. And if you hold, you have to kind of not hold so close here with the other hand, far away so that the back cover can flex because it's plastic. And put your fingernail there and it'll pop a little bit. And most people can get that if their fingernail is strong, not too long. Okay, if you can't get it this way, another way to get it is to hold it with the glass facing away from you and the notch right here. And again, hold the phone about halfway. And then you want to put one of your strong fingernails, depending on who you are, and try to flex it this way. And then you can work it and get it the rest of the way open like that. But let's say that your fingernails are too long or too short or it just hurts. Here's another way to get it. Use a marker. So don't use a fat Sharpie with rounded edges like that. Use a marker with more of a 90-degree angle like this Sharpie or any other kind of marker. So we want to look for that edge. Again, this is the bottom right corner. I'm going to hold it this way. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to hold the phone about halfway. I'm going to put the marker right here on this little edge. And now I'm going to push. And it gets it open. Gets it started. And I can use my thumb here to hold it open. And then I can work that marker the rest of the way around or however I need to get it. Now my fingers will fit in there and we can take the back cover all the way off. All right. So we've got 3 things that we can do. If your battery's starting to not hold a charge, you can take your battery out of your NUU A10L, change batteries. Okay? We've got SIM chip here, and for people that travel, we have a second SIM chip here. Yes, here. Let me double check. Yep. And then the SD card goes here. Now remember that the SD card can be used either to put, so you can put more data on your phone. It gives you more room to put pictures or videos or documents or whatever you do. It also gives you the ability to put the SD card in the phone, store your documents or pictures or what have you onto the SD card, and then put this SD card into another phone or your laptop or another memory device wherever you need that. So let's go, since I have the SD card in my hand, let's go over installing the SD card. Right in the center here, it's going to lay down flat in this slot, and you just push it in until it doesn't go anymore. That's it. And then the software is going to recognize it, and you will tell it what to do. Okay, if you need to remove that SD card, it does have a little bit of a lip, so you can't get your fingernail, you can't get your fingerprint, the moisture of your fingerprint can slide that out. Should be pretty easy. If you have a little bit of a hard time, excuse me, you can get a tool like the marker and just press it out like this. Okay, now let's move over to the SD card. So on the SD card side, they have this labeled as, they have that labeled as number 1. They do have this one labeled as number 1, and this one is number 2. So SD number 1 is actually the old school size. Let me show you. We've got one handy. Stand by, let me grab it. All right, so it's going to look like this. It's bigger. So these are the more modern ones. The most recent ones are these. And then this phone takes this size up. You might need an adapter. Most carriers, it might come with that already, or ask your coworker or someone at the cell phone store for one. And most of the times it's metal down, and you slide that SIM chip right in there, and you're good to go. Now let's give an example of removing those, because, so again, you might not be able to get your fingernail in there. Most people can get their fingernail in there and press it out, and then with the moisture of their fingerprint, they can get it the rest of the way out. If you can't, here's where I suggest use a tool. I like using a giant sewing needle, and that would get right in the back of that. And then if you can't get it with your fingerprint, the plastic of the SIM chip is soft enough that that point can go right in a little bit and start to get that SIM chip out. Okay, now if you use 2 SIM chips and you happen to use the smaller side here, or the smaller side, then same thing applies. You can put that sewing needle right in that little space right there and push it out, and then with the point of the sewing needle start to scoop it out, and you can get your SIM chip out. Okay, one other thing that I want to go over is what not to do. Okay, so let's finish this up. Let's go over making sure that you've changed your SIM chip, SD card, battery, you're done. So make sure that you line up the camera slot with the camera, and then you go over twice, make sure it clicks easily, and now you're done. So let's go over just one thing not to do. Let's say you're having problems getting the back off. This is what I don't want you to do. Do not grab a knife. Do not grab a screwdriver. 2 reasons. 1, this is plastic and you can break the device. 2, if you're pushing hard and you just get unlucky and you have the wrong angle and it slips, you could jab yourself with a knife or screwdriver. So don't do that. Stick to plastic like this marker that I suggest. All right, if that has helped you change your battery, SIM card, or SD card on your NUU, thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. We'll see you next time.